Imagery is when we use adjectives to paint pictures in our heads. So let's read a poem and see if we can use adjectives to create imagery or to paint a picture in our head. It says, Rosie loved watching the night sky. It shined with so many stars. Sometimes she would climb onto Papa's shoulders. She'd feel like a princess sitting closer to those stars. One afternoon, Papa said, "We're going to the beach. Won't that be fun?" Rosie wasn't sure. "Will my stars be there too?" "Maybe," Papa said. Let's think about this. I know at the beginning of the story that Rosie feels excited. When I look for some adjectives in the story that kind of help me understand she's excited, alright, I know that it says she loved watching the night sky. This helps me see that I know that when Rosie is looking, she's always looking up into the night. It shined with so many stars. So shined and many stars. So I know that the sky is dark. I also know that it's full of stars, which are bright little spots. Sometimes she would climb onto Papa's shoulders. She'd feel like a princess. This also helps me realize that she feels very special. This is painting a picture in my head to know that she is feeling excited. If we look here, it says, bump, bump, scratch. Adam opened his eyes and pulled the covers up to his chin. He stared around his room, searching the darkness for the thing that was making those scary sounds. The closet door moved as something banged on it from the inside. So when I see this in my head, I see a picture of a bed, and I see a boy lying in bed, but I also know that he's got a blanket pulled all the way up. I can see that he's got this blanket pulled up because he's trying to hide. I can also know that there's a closet door, and that there's some kind of sound coming from it. It's a bang, bang. So, what kind of words helped me understand that there's a boy that's scared and that there's also loud noises coming from the closet door? Look at the poem. Can you find some of these words? So bump and scratch. Also when it talked about banged. If we're thinking about how he felt, okay, he pulled the covers up to his chins. He stared around the room, right? He's searching the darkness for the things that were making those scary sounds. So these are all words that help to paint a picture in my head. If we look at this one, I want you to think as I read, what do you see in your head? Adam tugged on David's arm. "There's something in my closet." "You probably had a bad dream. Go back to bed." Adam yanked the blankets off the bed. "It wasn't a dream. I was awake, and the closet door started opening by itself." David sighed. "Fine, but when we don't find anything, you have to promise to leave me alone for the rest of the night." So I'm trying to think about David. I'm guessing that David is probably a big brother, and I can tell that David is feeling frustrated. Think about this word frustrated and what it means. What kind of words let me know that he is probably frustrated? He sighed, alright? You have to promise to leave me alone. These are things that kind of let me know that he's being frustrated. He's saying, go back to bed. When I think about an image in my head about what I'm seeing a little boy going into somebody else's room who is probably his brother. And I'm imagining if his brother is frustrated, he's yelling, "What?" because he wants his brother to go away. Let's look at one last poem. I walk by night in darkness, I sneak without a sound, I overturn the garbage can, oh what a treat I found. I grab the picnic sandwiches, I haven't yet been seen, I take my bounty to the brook and wash it squeaky clean. Well, first, I want to make an inference. This word brook is something new to me, but I noticed here that he's talking about washing it. If you're washing something, that means you need water. So brook is probably another word for water. Now, let's think about this character. What kind of picture can you paint in your head? Think about the picture that you could paint in your head. So when I'm looking at this one, some things that I see in my head is I see somebody that is sneaking, okay? And he's doing this without a sound. So that makes me think of somebody that is tiptoeing. They're trying to be very quiet. It talks about an overturned garbage can. Well, if you think about a garbage can and it gets turned over, everything is going to spill out of it. This tells me that there's probably a mess, okay? He grabs picnic sandwiches. Well, think about a picnic sandwich that has been in a garbage can. That, to me, tells me that instead of being a whole sandwich, there's probably been bites taken out of it, which makes it a little bit more gross. Alright? Remember, we are making images in our heads. We are trying to paint pictures using words or adjectives from the story.